In this video, you will learn setting up of payroll information in Tally. And in order to have a better understanding, I have developed an example which is on your screen. So in this example, the company wants to calculate salary of its employee based upon the department in which he is working. So the company has decided that for a given department, this will be the pay structure. For example, for sales department, the basic would be 18,000, HRA at 40% of basic, and so on. And similarly, for another department, let's say marketing, there will be a different pay structure. So here the organization is deciding the pay structure depending upon the department in which the employee works. Since the organization requires salary to be defined based on the departments, we are required to define departments in Tally. So this forms one of the tasks, that is to define departments in Tally. Now what else are we required to set up in Tally? So you can look at the pay structure. It consists of basic HRA, conveyance and overtime pay, and these forms earnings pay head. So we are required to define those pay heads, and the earnings of an employee is based upon the attendance data, like the number of days he is present or absent, and the overtime which he does. And in order to calculate attendance, we need to define attendance data like present, absent and overtime. And we are also required to define units like hours and minutes, and these will be used to calculate salary based upon overtime, like number of extra hours or minutes an employee works, and so on. Besides earning pay heads of an employee, we are required to define deduction pay heads, where PF at 12% would be deducted from the employee's salary. Besides PF, ESI at 0.75% and professional tax would be deducted. Therefore, we are required to define 3 deduction pay heads for PF, ESI and professional tax. Besides deduction pay heads, we are required to define contribution pay heads of employers. And after that, we are also required to define expense pay head towards PF admin charge and a pay head for EDLI. Now in Tally, what we are going to do first is we will define the time units like hours and minutes, and then we will define attendance data like present, absent and overtime. And for overtime, we will use the time units that we have created, which is hours and minutes, to calculate extra hours or extra minutes. And after that, we will define all the pay heads, earning pay heads, deduction pay heads and contribution pay heads of employers. And after defining the pay heads, we will define the department and we will define the salary structure for the given department. And after defining the department, we will create an employee and assign him to the department. So once the employee is connected with a department, the salary details of that department would be copied to the employee data. And if you feel that all these things appears to be complex, then you need not to worry. Things would get clear as and when we complete all the process step by step. Alright, so now let's proceed with the practical part, where we will first define the units for time.